Joining me now is conservative columnist Dr. Gina Loudon. Gina, it's great to see you as always. President Obama re-emerging just as the GOP looks to reform Obamacare. He might not mention President Trump by name, but that will certainly be hanging over this speech. What do you make of the timing?
This is President Obama and his narcissistic leanings that we've seen since the moment he emerged on the public scene. You know, he's going to go and try and accomplish two things. One, he wants to paint President Trump as somehow unsuccessful in his first 100 days. But the reality is, when you hold up what President Trump has done in terms of job creation, in terms of market, and all Obama had accomplished at this point is what? A massively expensive stimulus. So there's no comparison. The other thing he's going to want to do is to try to continue to motivate that base to assure that they'll have some victories in 2018. But if they keep behaving badly, I doubt it.
So he says he's going to talk about, community activism and so forth. I mean, how explicit do you think he's going to be about some of what you're just saying? That seems like a pretty, that message would be pretty out there. It seems as though he's sort of dipping a toe in the water here. Or do you think it's part of a bigger play? Is he going to be active and speaking now in the days, weeks, months ahead?
Oh, I don't think he can stand being out of the limelight for one moment. I don't believe that. I think he will be out there as much as he can be out there. I think he'll be propping up those around him for powerful positions, because I also think he's very addicted to the power. But I think that he's missing the major component here. He wants to make it as if this resist movement is similar to the Tea Party. It isn't similar to the Tea Party that did usher in Donald Trump, and here's why. The Tea Party was trying to fix its own party. These resist people, who knows what they're protesting, but if anything, they're just as partisan as anyone ever, only they want to kill free speech. And so there's no comparison between the Tea Party and the resist movement, even though he might try to make those parallels.
Gina, I know it's important for President Obama to raise money for his foundation that he's setting up, but I think about President Bush, the 43rd president, who stayed off of the national stage, who never weighed in on President Obama's presidency the entire time he was in office. Why can't he take a page from President Bush?
I don't know if it's just him simply not having the dignity and the self-respect to do so, or if it has more to do, Dagan, honestly, with him not respecting the American people the way that he should. You have to give a president a chance to thrive in their elected position. And for him not to do that is not, it doesn't result in him not respecting this president. It results in him not respecting the will of the American people. And I think that's sort of how he governed, and I sort of think that's how he'll probably go down in history.
Yeah, Gina, this is Taya, and I sort of look back at Obama's presidency and I think of the things that he has said, and he traditionally has always said that they need to educate the people, they need to tell the people. That's kind of his narrative, right, is that they need to get out, and right now he's saying he needs to organize the public about his ideas. What I find interesting about that is we're a democracy, and it's supposed to be that they are representatives of what the people want. It's supposed to be the people sending the message up, and it seems like he historically goes out and says, no, 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 I have the answers. I need to push the message down so that you understand why my message is right. I mean, do you feel that that's kind of more of the same for him, that he just doesn't want to give up because they haven't convinced the people enough that their plan is correct?
Taya, you make such a great point, and I think it's so true. This is really about the imposition of his ideas and his power. Let's not forget, the Republican Party really is the big tent party. We really do tolerate dissent up and down on every issue. We have people who believe both things in our party, and we tolerate that pretty well. People like President Obama, they will tolerate zero dissent. You must believe exactly what they believe from an economic perspective, from a social issues perspective. It doesn't matter. There will be no dissent tolerated. You're right. It is a top-down elitist party, and until they catch on to that fact, they're going to keep losing just exactly the same way they lost in 2016. So it works for Republicans, but not working so well for them.